Nintendo, how dare you disturb my family vacation? Okay, I'm only slightly kidding though, because Nintendo has always dropped their directs in the last few years, like shortly after Father's Day. Like, it's basically their E3 presence, but now E3 is dead, so rip. So this really wasn't a surprise to me or anything. I'm kind of more so just interested in what left they could show for the Nintendo first-party support for the Switch, because I think that's probably the best way to gauge how much longevity the Switch has left in its life cycle. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Pikmin series and all, but when info about Pikmin 4 is the big headliner going into this thing, there's probably gotta be something big left for the Switch, or I think it's gonna be quite apparent that Nintendo has their devs working on new software for whatever new hardware comes around. It's just how it is nowadays. Well, I guess that's all I can think of, so I guess let's just hop into it and see what they've got to show. Alright, starting with Pokemon, that makes sense. Obviously, it's only the biggest cash cow franchise of all time. I'm sorry if anybody wants my 2 cents about Pokemon. I'm about as detached from it as I possibly can be today. Okay, I hear that people call Gen 9 looking like a PS2 game. Honestly, I think that's a little bit harsh. I mean, it kind of just looks like you took the 3DS games and put it through a shader, which I know it, no, oh, never mind. That's kind of bad. Okay, I see where they're coming from. I kind of see where it's coming from. There are a lot of ways that this does look like a PS2 game. Actually, if this is what you have to show, never mind. Okay, I tried. That kid needs a haircut. These kids are getting way too much focus. Everyone looks so cocained up in this game. The Blueberry Academy? Wait a minute! That friggin' breaks lore! One of the one bits of lore is that there is no Blueberry. There's probably some kind of off-brand Pokemon up berry. Oh my god, there's a Minico. I did it. I recognized one Pokemon. Yeah, I'm sorry, none of this is actually doing anything for me. Like, I don't know what else to say. How long has this trailer been going for? For 3 freaking minutes? Can't you just say that Pokemon's getting DLC and move on with it? This Pokemon got all the freaking Infinity Stones? Well, that was that. Oh, wow, you can get 10 rare candies, and nuggets, and a friend ball. Wait, why did you only get 1 friend ball? That seems like the least rare thing of all. Alright, a Sonic Mania sequel? I mean, why not? Whoa. Okay, so it is 3D. That's kind of weird. So it's still classic, but it's 3D. I mean, that's definitely an art direction. Is it just me, or is Sonic moving really slow in this game? Like, Sonic's about speed, right?
It's available for up to 4 players.
I mean, I guess that's what you gotta do if you're gonna focus on the multiplayer aspect of the game. But yeah, Sonic is moving pretty slow. It honestly is giving me Kirby's Return to Dreamland vibes. Like hardcore Kirby's Return to Dreamland vibes.
Welcome to Palia.
Palia. Oh my god. Everyone looks so stiff. Is this an MMO? Oh yes, the farming simulators are back, fellas. What the frick was that? No, go back. No, look at that. I will go frame by frame with this. Developers, when you are making a trailer, please don't have this. Please don't have this. Please don't have this. Just completely ruins the vibe. They completely ruined it. I'm sorry, I just can't let that down. That freaking fishing pole is just consuming all of the brain cells in my brain right now. Why was the Persona the most animated character in that entire game? We got some Persona 5. It's freaking XCOM! This is how we get the anime fans into XCOM. With the freaking Sonas. PST? That straight up looks like PST. Persona 5 Tactica. Psst.
Inspired by Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay, the funny thing is I can't call this game for looking bad because it honestly looks exactly like a Saturday morning cartoon. Like, I love how everything you can interact with has like a very thick border and everything else is literally like water paint. Like, that is actually accurate. Like, if you ask me, I think that the outline should be a little bit more thick, but honestly, for a game that is clearly inspired by a style, I think they got what they were looking for. We got a Splatfest. If you want my hot take, I don't really feel like Splatfests are something that should be added into Nintendo Directs, because a lot of people watching Nintendo Directs are just looking about like the speculative nature about it, and it's like, this could have just made into an in-game post. The people that are interested in Splatoon are probably logging in, and they'll be like, oh yeah, the Splatfest is coming. Why not? Or just put it on the Switch homepage for people that own the game. Another Pokemon game. Watch this be Detective Pikachu. It's gonna be it. There's Maractus. There you go, I recognize another Pokemon. I'm 2 for 2 this Nintendo Direct, my guy. Oh, this is 100. Yeah, there we go. It's freaking Detective Pikachu. Called it. I can't tell if this is a remake, though, or if this is a sequel. What is Pikachu's actual IQ? Because can he freaking only know 4 moves without forgetting a 5th? Is that good to feed your Pokemon coffee? Are there foods that your Pokemon can't eat? I feel like if you give a mouse a coffee, that is not going to be good. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Yo! 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 It's gonna be a remake! She's squashed! What the frick? It looks nice. It looks nice. I get this style, but she looks so freaking squashed! He's squashed too! The boy! Not even a new logo. Not even a new logo. Not a name. It's just Super Mario RPG. Yeah? Wow. Wow. Okay. They did it. It's Mallow. There you go, Gino. Bowser actually looks kind of normal. Everybody else looks super squashed. I just can't believe that they pulled it off. No! They removed the jiggle physics. That was the one fun thing about that boss fight. I'm not gonna lie though, the trailer is kind of going on for a really long time. Like, you could tell this is a Squeenix game, because the trailer is definitely overstaying its welcome. Like, Jesus Christ! Is there not a location that they haven't shown? There's Booster. What hasn't been shown in this trailer, bro? Mario's arms are so freakishly small, it's kind of cursed to me. You know, I can't say that this announcement came completely out of left field for me, because there was reports before, interviews with the original Super Mario RPG creator, that he longed for a sequel or a remaster for this game before he retired. And yeah, I guess he got his wish. So there you go. You got your Super Mario RPG remaster. Super Mario RPG, man. I like Super Mario RPG, but it is not my favorite Mario RPG in the lot. I'm going to say that. Maybe this could change it, though. I think the things that turn me off from Super Mario RPG, going back to it today, is it's like, yeah, it's still an action RPG by definition, but the mechanics of the game are so kind of borked that it's kind of hard to justify it being an action-based game, because it's like, yeah, you press the buttons when you move your fists and stuff like that to time your attacks, but it's like, there's really no confirmation of how much you're doing, because I'm pretty sure it's like a combination of how well you time the buttons with how much RNG gets put toward the attack that does the damage, so it really doesn't feel like you're in charge a whole lot. You just kind of mash the buttons and hope for the best. And the freaking RNG in this game is also scuffed, because literally it's like, oh, you could just get a second a turn, or you could input all the inputs correctly and your attack could just miss, or you could just use an item that is like worth 500 coins in this game and you could literally get a freebie after that, and then you could use it next turn regardless and they get another freebie just because the game freaking wants you to. Like, there is no freaking balance to the original Super Mario RPG, and that's what kind of turns me off a little bit going back to it today. So I don't know, maybe if we could see like more elements of the modern Mario RPGs get like put into the original, I feel like that could definitely like elevate the Mario RPG remake, I suppose. I don't know. I'm excited for it. I don't know if I'll pick it up initially, but it is made by Square, so who knows if it'll ever go under a price drop. Also, Squeenix, what are you doing not making Fortune Street 2? I think that just has to be said.
That last trailer featured Mario, but he's not the only one getting a
He's not the only one?
What do you mean?
Okay. Who else is getting a game? Peach? Okay, what is this? What's it called? What's it about?
Huh?
Whoa, she's blue?
That's all we'll show for
Okay.
We'll share more details.
That was a whole lot of nothing. I was kind of on the edge of my seat thinking like, okay, what's there gonna be here? But, okay, Peach is getting a game. Got a name for it? No. You got anything that looks interesting for it? No? Okay. It's so weird how they're launching it so late in the Switch's life cycle. I feel like that is not the thing you should be doing. You should definitely be putting like a brand new concept or an IP at the beginning of a console's life. The back of the system's life needs to be reserved for like etc. Mario Party is Detective Pikachu. Yeah, throw that on the last like line for the Switch. Your remakes, like an idea that's brand new probably is not going to do well initially. I don't know if this game is going to be like Super Princess Peach at all, which kind of just felt like a platformer for girls. And if that's kind of the case, I feel like it's a little bit too late, but who knows? We'll see what Nintendo's up to. Maybe they'll freaking whip out the best game of all time. Maybe this is the successor to like freaking BioShock for Nintendo. Maybe this is their GTA output with freaking Peach. Who knows?
There's actually something else.
There's something else? What is there? Dark Mode! What the frick was this announcement?
A visually enhanced version of Luigi's Mansion.
Visually enhanced? It looks the exact same!
Nintendo 3DS is in development.
What?
We hope you look
Why?
more of Luigi's
What?
antics.
What? I'm speechless. Why? I'm excited, but why? Let's see. The official name for this game is Visually Enhanced Version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for Nintendo Switch, at least as of right now. Why? I'm excited, but why? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I think that is actually one of my favorite games on the 3DS, especially for the puzzles. And I do actually kind of like the combat in this game, especially for the 3DS specifically, as a way to adapt Luigi's Mansion's gameplay into like a rebooted version of it. I don't like the visual direction. It's very stylized. I mean, it can't beat the original's tone, and I know not everybody liked this one because, oh, it got rid of portrait ghosts. So I know a lot of people don't like the mission structure for the game, but I think for the 3DS in particular, I think they play with the concept of the missions pretty well to expand the content of that game, and I think it works as a portable device. I don't know if that would translate perfectly to the Switch, is the thing. Like, the people that didn't like Dark Moon the first time are probably not going to like it if the only thing that's changed is the visually enhanced version of it. And even then, the visuals didn't really look that enhanced. The models are clearly made for a 3DS. It is clearly a 3DS port, just being up-res to modern technology. And you have, like, the bottom screen on the top screen, which never was really an issue. I don't think you used the bottom screen at all. And the controls probably still work because it's still the ABXY layout that the Nintendo 3DS used. So I don't see a reason why this can't work. I just don't know who the audience is, because even I love Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I don't know if I'd pay $60 for a second helping of it when I have it on the 3DS already. That's just me. I feel like that's a much harder sell. And you don't even get 3D. The 3D in the 3DS game is actually great. Like, it's one of the games that I will actually play with the 3D on. I mean, don't get me wrong, it definitely looks crisper than Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS. But when you also have Luigi's Mansion 3 on the console, that game freaking looks like Pixar made it. Where this looks okay. I'm looking back and it's like I'm seeing scenes like this room, it looks really fine. But when you take Luigi's Mansion 3, which is honestly, in my opinion, one of the best looking games on the Nintendo Switch, and you kind of just compare it to a 3DS port, which is just like kind of visually upscaled, it's kind of, I don't know, that's tough. That's a tough call. I'm dabbling on a game that's 10 years old, way too much though. It is 10 years old. Holy crap. I don't know, but I do love this game, honestly. I think that this game is kind of underrated in a way in the community, because you'll never be able to capture what made Luigi's Mansion 1 so, like, special. But I think given that this game was made like 12 years later from the original, I think it was a smart way to reboot it in this way. I mean, maybe in a world that more people are growing up with Luigi's Mansion 3, maybe people will give more respect to Dark Moon as pretty much being its predecessor. But, I don't know. Definitely probably the most jaw-dropping thing that I'll probably see this entire direct, but who knows. Maybe they'll release Codename Steam 2. Well, we'll keep going. Play it where it lies.
Lies in a world without words.
A world without words. Oh, that's kind of cool. A completely silent video game. That's kind of cute. That'd be a fun way to, like, introduce people into... That's a lie! There's 2 words right there! And they're making sounds, too! I was freaking misled. I was like, wow, that could be cool. A game that didn't have, like, words or anything. But nope, they freaking abandoned that immediately. I don't know, I think there would have been a little bit of genius in making a game that was completely wordless. Especially as one, like, as complicated as, like, an RPG. I feel like that would have been a big balls move. But clearly there was words right there. Right there! Frickin' misleading. Why did the king steal the world's words? Because, honestly, a world without words is a world without Twitter, and a world without Twitter is a better place. Oh my god, the frame rate. It's just a card game. You know, I'll never understand why something as simple as a card game has such a terrible frame rate. Come on, people, optimize your games. I believe in you. Gloomhaven. I don't like how I see boobs in the logo. Hot Wheels Unleashed, baby. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, honestly, the movement in this game does kind of look rad. I wish we had more racing games with, like, really crazy movement. Like, everything nowadays has to be so, like, stiff. I want a game that looks like this, man. It's a song from Dragon Quest. I don't... You know what I don't like? I don't like how sometimes they bring back the actual sprites and they make them in 3D like they do in the freaking pictures, because then it freaking looks cursed as hell. Bro, you're telling me to get a freaking Pokemon game before we're getting a real Fortune Street 2? Squeenix, what are you doing not making Fortune Street 2?
More news on a certain game with plant-like creatures.
Oh my god. Plants vs. Zombies? What is it? Oh, it's freaking Pikmin. Oh, I feel stupid. Okay, so I actually did watch this entire section, and I actually paid pretty close attention to what I saw, just because Pikmin's something that actually intrigues me a little bit, and I know this was going to be a really sizable section of the Direct. And I gotta say, I think I need this game in my hands to really get the feel for it. Because they're doing a lot with it, but I just don't really see it as a Pikmin game as much, because there's no daytime mechanic. It doesn't seem. It's going to be Pikmin 2. It looks like a sequel to Pikmin 2 almost in a way. Definitely caves. Battle mode definitely looked emphasized. It looked like it was almost even tied to the story mode itself. There's still no co-op. That's kind of a little bit concerning to me. Oh, the RPG elements, like, of leveling up your character, that just, again, it sounds really weird. I mean, again, Pikmin 2 had, like, ways that you could level up your characters, not necessarily, but you got power-ups for your characters. Not all really good ones, but you only got those by clearing dungeons. I like how in this game it's looking like you can actually just get the power-ups just by getting the stuff. That kind of encourages people to keep picking up all the little trinkets that they discover along the way. I think that's a really good idea, actually, because otherwise, in Pikmin 2, everything's just money. And money is basically pointless, unless if you just like to see numbers get bigger. Other than that, I kind of just need it in my hands at this point, because I'm not the biggest fan of Pikmin 2 in particular. That's probably my least favorite in the series, just because I don't really like the caves, and that takes up so much of Pikmin 2. I feel like if they can get the caves right this time around, I feel like this might shape up to be a fun Pikmin game. Again, I'm really not sold on the caves. The procedurally generated nature of the caves just makes it so that there's really not a whole lot of puzzle solving going on. None of the placements of the enemies really feel like strategically laid out. Again, it just makes Pikmin a generic dungeon crawler, and a kind of unfair one too. If they could change that somehow in this game and actually make caves like fun to explore, I feel like I would be a lot more excited. But right now I'm just kind of on the fence because I'm really not a fan of caves. That is kind of the reasons why I really don't like going back to Pikmin 2 in particular. But yeah, I don't know, the other elements of the game look pretty fun. I definitely am always been looking to exploring the grounds at night. I'm kind of a little bit sad that there's no time limit, but I don't know. It just seems like something that they would do to make the game more accessible to all players, because I know that threatens a whole lot of players, even though I personally love the time limit in Pikmin 1 and 3, even though they're hardly existent in the game at all, to be honest. So, whatever. I'm definitely getting it. I gotta see what it's about in order to give a fair judgment of it. So, yeah, let's just carry on. Whoa!
HD versions of the first 2 Pikmin games
Pikmin ports.
released on Nintendo GameCube.
That's really
will
awesome.
launch on Nintendo
Oh! No! My babies! They freaking ruined the fonts for those 2! This is uncalled for. I could freaking pass off Pikmin 4 getting the new logo treatment, but no, this is just cursed. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. That's bad. I want my old logos back, Nintendo. There was nothing wrong with the first Pikmin logo. It was fun. Digital versions available today. So are they ports? Are they remasters? Are they just... what? There's so many questions in the air that it leaves me so concerned. Are they upscaled? What's the cost? Why did they change the logos? I don't know. Please show us stuff. No. No. You're just gonna leave me in the air? Okay. Oh my god, we're getting Metal Gear. Look at him go! I wish I was a bit more knowledgeable about the Metal Gear games, because there are so many of them. Spoiler alert! I like that. I mean, I guess Metal Gear is so expansive that I feel like it could have a Volume 1 and a Volume 2. I wish I was more of a Metal Gear Solid fan to really say, oh, is this the one worth going for? Because it looks like this one has more of the legacy titles in it. I've unironically heard that this is actually fun. It doesn't really look fun to me, but I've heard this game is actually fun. It's just, to me, it really doesn't look too enticing for me to pick up, just because it's like, oh, it's an auto slasher, where it's like, okay, it's cool to see amounts of enemies get completely wiped out, and I heard that it's like kind of randomly generated, so it's like you're constantly getting new stuff and checking stuff out. Oh, that's cool. You actually get 4-player co-op with the Switch version. That's actually a reason to check this one out. Yo, we got Mario Kart. Let's see those freaking stages. I've always wanted to drive into a toilet in Mario Kart. No! It's our boy! It's Petey! The prodigal son has returned!
From Mario Kart 7
and Wiggler. Actually, I kind of like Wiggler, because he gets mad if you hit him. Yeah, there you go. He gets mad. Kamek! Yo, that's actually kind of awesome! Kamek is long due to be in Mario Kart, man. He was supposed to be in 64. Okay, it only showed one track. It was kind of similar to last time, where they just showed off the new track and the characters. But Petey, my boy, the Grandmaster Mario Karter is returning. I love how we have a Nintendo Direct where we have a Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon remake and a full-on Super Mario RPG remake. And yet the one thing I decide to pop off to in this Direct is a freaking Piranha Plant being playable in Mario Kart again. I guess that just says a whole lot about me as a person, huh?
It's time to move.
We got another WarioWare? Do we got a real one?
Get ready for more.
Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. There we go. Now this is looking a lot more like smooth moves. I think this is what people were looking forward to with the Nintendo Switch WarioWare, don't get me wrong, because Get It Together was fine. The only thing I really didn't like about it is that once you played it with your friends, is that freaking Mario 64 DS? That was real, right? That is literally Mario 64 DS. Why? They could have made a Mario 64 reference, but no, they did DS. I mean, I'm not complaining, I just think that's funny. I kind of do still like Mario 64 DS, I'm not gonna lie, even though the controls are a little bit stiff. Okay, you got local co-op. That's good. Oh, there we go. And you got party mode. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about. I like how it's going for the Hawaiian vibe. That's kind of cute. I don't think Wario's really ever, like, stuck to a genre before. But yeah, the thing I was saying before is, yeah, I don't know, it's just fun that we're getting an actual Wario. I say a quote-unquote actual WarioWare game for the Nintendo Switch, but now, let's be honest, Get It Together was kind of interesting, but I think it lacked a lot of replayability. And once you play it once with friends, I don't really feel like I'm too inclined to play it again with somebody else. It's just once you play it, once you see everything in the game, it's kind of, that's it. And I really wish that we had another WarioWare game that kind of felt like super substantial in content. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Smooth Moves, but that kind of is another game where once you go through all the content in that game, there's just nothing really left to come back to. That's kind of why I personally come back to micro games a little bit more myself, just because there's like high scores that you could set for yourself. Well, I mean, that's in every Wario game technically, but there was also like the multiplayer minigame mode that was pretty fun. They had little tiny minigames in there too for single player that weren't just your typical WarioWare mini games. I don't know, I just kind of wish that we had another WarioWare with more substance. I don't know. But then again, I guess that's just kind of what WarioWare is. Just kind of fun little in-the-moment burst kind of games. Oh my goodness, new amiibos! That Ganondorf amiibo is chiseled! Chiseled, my guy! Zelda's fine. But that Ganondorf, though! Holy smokes, that guy has been lifting! Okay, now here's one of my questions in the Legend of Zelda games, okay? How does Ganondorf get so outlandishly buff? Link makes sense, because Link is going out in the world slashing giant monsters, he's getting heart pieces, he's wielding freaking items like balls and chains and doing puzzles with his bare hands to work out. Ganondorf? How is this man so chiseled? Like, what is he doing with his time? And those calves, too. He is not skipping out on leg day, either. Like, where does he have time to put this much hustle in his bustle for these muscles? I don't know, man. That's the big Zelda plot hole that I can't stand. I don't care for the fact that Link can take out a pair of boots and freaking weigh 100 pounds and put them back in his pocket and still weigh nothing. What I really care about is freaking Ganondorf's muscles, man. That is the answer I need answered. I think my one critique, though, about Ganondorf's amiibo, though, is the freaking base of Ganondorf itself is bigger than the actual base of the amiibo stand. That's not that great. Just at that rate, hack off the amiibo stand. The base just looks ugly. I'm just gonna say it. Do we really need the amiibo functionality? Just freaking sell the figure. Does anybody else find it super weird that the Legend of Zelda series is still like the only franchise that still like gets amiibo support nowadays? Like, not even Mario gets amiibo support. It's kind of sad, but I guess whatever.
This next segment will be our last announcement.
Is this Tears of the Kingdom DLC? Already? Nope! It's freaking Mario. What the frick is that? What the frick is that? What is that, Mario? That is one chonkers looking Mario. Okay, I'm just gonna see the... Okay. Different. It looks like a Newgrounds game, kind of. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Honestly, though, I'm glad that they changed up the direction of the game. It's low-key looking like a Newgrounds game, though. I'm not gonna lie. Ironically, Mario's looking a lot faster than Sonic in his game. There's a lot of cool stuff in this. Like, there's definitely a lot of, whoa. Oh my god. What the frick is going on? Mario is flat out on drugs. He is straight up on freaking drugs, my guy. What is going on? Mario's tripping. He's doing the shrooms. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Because Mario on LSD would not sell for the family market. There's Peach, there's Toads, and there's Daisy too? This game looks freaking whack. I can't tell if it's a good or bad kind of whack. Mario is just straight up on acid. I'm sorry, there is no other way to describe this game. So you take a man who's explored a land, he's explored a world, he's explored an island, he's explored a freaking galaxy. What happens when you go past the final frontier that is outer space? Where does this man go from there? Drugs. Drugs. is the answer that Nintendo provides. Mario Takes Drugs, the video game. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Hot take, I don't like the name. It's the fact that freaking Bros and Wonder are both in the title. Like, Super Mario Wonder sounds good, but not Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's why Super Mario Bros. World doesn't work. It has to be Super Mario World. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy. Even a game like New Super Mario Bros. U, despite being a total mouthful, is still somewhat, like, fun to say, because all of the words it adds are, like, adjectives. Super Mario Bros. Wonder does not roll off the tongue. That makes me feel unclean to say. I feel like it should just be Super Mario Wonder. Does that not sound just so much better to everyone else? Super Mario Wonder. Super Mario Wonder. Super Mario Wonder. Good. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Oh, that's disgusting. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Oh. That hurts. That sucks. Oh well, maybe we'll get used to it. They already made the logo. We can't hire the designers to make a new one, so I guess I gotta get used to this name. When's it coming out? October? Oh, that makes sense. What is it? What the frick is that? What the frick is that? Mario's a freaking elephant. Because of course he freaking is. You know, I think the weirdest thing about all of this is the fact that Mario just straight up turned into a freaking elephant. Like, he's not wearing an elephant suit. He's just straight up the elephant now. He has the autonomy of an elephant. I don't even want to go on the internet right now. The internet is not ready for this. It's just not. Do we get to see what it does?
That Goomba looks so. Well then.
It just kills everything it touches. That's it. This is a murderer. Overall, I think that Direct did what it needed to do. It was probably the same amount of content that you'd get from an E3 announcement, so yeah, it kind of did that. Pikmin fans are eating well. You know, I have to say, with this Nintendo Direct, I don't think that there was a single thing that I would have been able to predict. A single thing about that Direct other than more Pikmin information, which was a given. Every key announcement in this Direct pretty much took me completely off guard. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if that makes for a good Nintendo Direct, but I certainly think that this is going to be a memorable one. That's for sure. I think I am seeing Nintendo's pattern a little bit more with how they're going to handle the end of the Switch's life. Because on one hand, you do see a lot of similarities it has with the 3DS. A lot of ports of old games that really don't make much sense. But I think the big difference here is that they're teasing a little something extra whenever the next big thing comes out. It's only one big thing at a time, but they had Tears of the Kingdom. That was pretty big. I mean, I don't know if you could say the same thing about Pikmin 4, but I could see that as being pretty big too. And now we have Mario, well, what's it called? Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Oh, that still sounds bad in my mouth. And as soon as, you know, they go through one, they have the next one lined up. That's good. So yeah, I think as long as Nintendo keeps using that strategy, I think they will kind of tug the investors a little bit along until they have plans for the next Nintendo console, which I think is a good compromise. I think they're slowly but surely learning from their mistakes of the past. I mean, what do I realistically have to say? Wait a minute. A Super Mario RPG remake does mean that we're going to have to see Mario, Bowser, and Booster get a threesome makeout scene in HD. Never mind, this Direct officially sucks.